Hello, good evening. It's Monday, so we're going to be playing with our monthly make stamps for March. I nearly said April then. We're not going to be doing that, are we? Nope, we're playing with March's monthly make. And I remembered I hadn't done a calendar page top for my calendar, so I'm going to be doing that tonight using our lovely March stamps. Evening, Noala. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get crafting. There we go. If I can find the buttons. You know, one of these days I am going to remember which buttons to press, or I might actually move them so I can get to them easier. Anyway, so what I've done is I've got my lovely calendar in front of me. I've got a mat and I've just cut it down. So it's a bit of an odd shape, a bit of an odd size. But basically that's what we're going to be working on. So I'm going to move this out of the way because it's a bit of a beast to work on. And then I thought we'd go a bit grungy. A bit grungy. Use lots and lots of our texture stamps. Where did I put my other one? There he is. He fell on the floor so his back's a bit... Let me wash him actually. I couldn't find him, he was on the floor. So he was just having a bit of a warm up. Let me just wash his back so he gets a bit sticky. Evening, Mum. And then we'll pop him back on. Ready, guys, and he'll be fine to use in a moment or two. Just round my kitchen roll as well. There we go, we'll pop that on there. So we've got our blocks, we've got our circles, and we've got our balloons. So that's what we're going to be playing with. I need to keep it that way, don't I? But first off, I need to wipe my desk because it decided to get wet then. Filthy actually, my desk today. I always say that, don't I? It's filthy. First up I need to choose some really nice big bold colours. So March, I'm going to grab peacock feathers because it's one of my favourites. We all know that, don't we though? So a bit of peacock feathers, cracked pistachio, and I know I'm going down my usual route and I don't mean to. But I'm going to go to my usual, my three go-tos that I absolutely love, which is cracked pistachio, peacock feathers, and wilted violet. And I've remembered, look, I remembered to fill my water bottle up. Woo! I know, it makes a change, doesn't it? I did remember. Well, tell a lie, I took it in the other day and it's been sat there ever since. So. I think Mr. Roo actually filled it up and told me, are you taking that back out with you? Yeah, I am. Now that you filled it up for me. So, I'm just going to go totally grungy. And I'm going to do splodges. Couldn't decide if I wanted a bit of an ombre. No. What am I doing? Right. There we go. I've already changed my mind. You'll have to bear with why I changed my mind. I want patches of colour, so I'm going to grab my brushes, my lovely Aldi specials. I do love these brushes. And I want lots and lots of colour. I'm just going to keep building them up, putting lots and lots of different lines on. You might end up with a little bit of white space as well on here. Not sure yet. Not quite sure where we're going with it. All I know is March needs a colourful header for his page, and that's what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to take that colour out of my brush so I can go into my next one. To be fair, Mum did drop some brushes off the other day. There we go, that's better. I'm going to go to my peacock feathers. And this time I'm going to go that way. I always say it when I use these brushes, I need to get Mr. Reed to cut the ends off them. Because they are really, really long and they're almost hitting the camera. I'm just adding lots and lots of colour. I don't think I'm going to end up with white space, am I? I'm going too much with it. That's okay. And then I just want to do exactly the same to put my purple on. I want to take as much of the colour out of my brush as I can. Still a lot coming out of it today. I must have really loaded that colour up. There you go, it's nearly gone now. Okay. I'm running out of turns on my tissue. I know, I love my Aldi brushes. Whenever they come in, just go and grab a few more. But like I say, Mum dropped me a few off the other day, so. But the handles are huge. So it is one of them that I really do need to get Mr. Roo just to saw the end off it for me. Though I suppose I could get Bear to do it for me. He'd be happily chop something up, wouldn't he? I'm gonna go up on this one, I think. It's getting a bit of a tartan feel to it. See, Maxine thought about cutting them down too. Absolutely, I think I'm going to have to. Because when I'm doing this, it's almost hitting me in the chin as well. I know. They're a nice brush, but they are a tad on the long side. But they are fab. And they're like pennies compared to what you'd pay for some branded ones. And they do just as good a job. Right, I think I'm quite happy with that. I do, I quite like that. Yeah, it needs to be about that long, doesn't it? I'm assuming they'd make fantastic brushes for doing your skirting boards and stuff, but mine never get that far. They've got a really nice point to them. Right, so move that tissue out of the way. I'm already covered in ink. I'm going to grab it again, and I think, do I want to or do I not? Ooh, decisions. I'm not very good at decisions tonight. I'll get there though. Right, so no, I want to distress around the edge is why I'm faffing. But you know what I'll do first? I'm going to do a bit of stamping first. Do a little bit of resist. And then we can start putting some of them lovely blocks on there as well. So I'm going to use my circle because my idea is if I get someone with the resist and then I'm going to go near them with these again, but either in embossing powder or ink. I know my words are not my friend tonight. It's because I heard the door slamming. I thought I was getting invaded. It can't be anything because we've already done spellings. I've only got his reading book to go. Though we did have a mass panic before. We lost our fleecy, our school fleecy. We were looking all over for it. It was on his back, wasn't it? I mean, of all the things, he had us all looking for his fleecy and it's there. He's wearing it. It's only because a little lady turns around and goes, you might want to check what he's wearing. Right, I'm actually really loving that. Can you see all those lovely circles on there? It's really cool, isn't it? I wasn't expecting it to resist quite as well because obviously we've applied our inks with our brush, but they've come away really, really well. I should never doubt my favourite 3 colours, should I? Never, never doubt it. Oh, I am loving them circles. That would look fab, wouldn't it, as a card back? You really don't need much more on there. Right. I want my blocks. So what I want to do with these is I'm going to have my circles, and again I want to go over them either with white embossing or a bit of well, just stamped in black ink. So these, because my circle's going to go that way, these are going to come down this way somehow. So I'm going to start with my cracked pistachio now. I think this might be a bit pale. Oh no, it's giving us a hint. We like a hint, don't we? I'll pop that one in there. Don't know whether you'll see it. I'll look in a second. Or you can just about make out the colour. I'll show you in a minute. And I'm just going to tell you what, if I lift it up. So you can just make out that it's there. It looks better than that in real life. Looks a bit dull on screen, sorry. It does look better than that in real life. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do this side as well. And then we're going to add a few of the other ones over at the top as well. There we go. And I know it looks like I've done absolutely nothing to you guys at home, but I have. We're starting to layer it up. Always throws me when it does that. There's a couple of colours that don't always show up on the screen. I'm just making sure I get this dry. If I keep moving it, there you go, you can start to see it, can't you? Not a lot, but you can see it a bit. Because we're going to have to make sure this is super dry if we want to use our embossing powders. I just love the texture we've got using the brushes instead of using kitchen roll. Not that there's anything wrong with using kitchen roll. We love cheap and cheerful. But this time, them brushes have given us a lovely effect on the background. Bit of peacock feathers. Can't use that tissue, can I? There you go. That's because I said I was going to... Yeah. I'm stamping. I'm not trying to distress it at the moment. Can you tell it's been one of them days? I don't know whether I'm coming or going today. Every time I've gone to do anything, I've got soaked. This afternoon I've just camped out in here, doing lots and lots of making. Quite liking that. I don't know whether I want to put the purple in. Or not. I was going to stamp the purple over the top, because you know me, I love getting my colours and just layering them up. But I'm quite liking how that's looking. So, as always, I'm going to change my mind as we go. Just going to grab a little bit of water. And just move this around a bit. Don't want it too wet, because otherwise it's just going to have it running everywhere. Just want to drag that purple, peacock feathers in a bit. Okay, I just need to block that bit there. It's only moving a little bit because we've already dried this once. If I hold that up, you see how it just looks a little bit different. I could have picked some peacock feathers up on my brush as well. There we go. Let's give that a quick dry. Get rid of my puddle as well. Taking a bit too much off on that one. Can you see? I've lost my colours. So, evening Sue. Sorry, I was engrossed then. I'm thinking we're going to come down. Now I can't decide if I pop that in white, which I think I'm going to, whether it would look nice if with these guys I just come in with a little bit, because I've made that, it's not standing out enough for me, is my problem. Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is just probably come towards the edge a bit, stamp it in black so it stands out a bit, and then we're going to put some other colours into it. I think I'm overthinking. I know. I'm overthinking. It's not good. It's only Monday and I'm having to use the old grey matter. So I'm going to do it this way. So if you notice with this, you've got one end that's quite pointy and one that's quite flat. So what I'm going to do is whiz it round and go that way with it. Yep, just extend it. Right, and I'm going to do exactly the same again. End up with that all the way up my arm, won't I? So again, we're going to put this one in a bit towards the middle. Oh, my finger locked up. And I'm just going to stamp this end of it. And pop it that way. There we go, that's better, isn't it? There we go. Put that over there. Just going to move that to one side, get rid of these little blobs off my desk. And then I'm going to give this a quick dry. I know I'm doing a lot of drying. It's because I want to put embossing powder on it. And if I keep drying it as we go, hopefully my embossing powder will behave. I'm not saying it will. I'm hoping it will. Just want to add a bit more colour into these. Okay. If I leave them too wet, see the steam coming off it. Didn't realise it got that cold now. It's what we were talking about last week as well. VersaFine Clair is a really, really wet ink, so it does take quite a bit to dry. Right. So we've got dots. You know the score with dots. I'm going to add a little bit in there. Should have done my colouring first, shouldn't I? Let's do my colouring first. And I don't want too much in here. Just one little bit. So I'm thinking, I know cogs are turning. I am thinking. I don't really want to add much more colour to it, so I'm going to get a pen, I think. Let's see what colour this one is. Well, it's nearly black. We don't want that, do we? It's warm grey. There we go. That one's better. So I think all I'm going to do with this is just go around a little bit. Don't want lots, just a little. Less is more for this one. And I'm choosing which is on top and which is on the bottom. It doesn't really matter, does it? Can you see the difference? Yeah, looks good, but just adding that little bit of pen makes it look a bit better. Brings them to life, doesn't it? Then what we could also always do, depending where we end up with this, is a little bit of glossy accents on the odd one or two. That could look quite nice as well. There we go. I think I've got them. We've just gone down the wrong side of that then. Evening, Susie. There we go. So we're just adding a little bit more colour around these ones. There we go. I think. Oh, that one. There you go. I'm not even being fussy about which ones I do. Just adding a little bit makes them jump out, doesn't it? And then we're going to add some of our white to it now. So now I can go to town with my white pen. Not that I wasn't going to before. Oh, come on. It's going, no, you put me down once, I don't want to work now. Oh. Oh. That's definitely not a white pen, is it? I'm guessing I've got a black one, the same somewhere. That's better. It's because the stud end up. I need to lie them down, really. I've got my other ones lying down now, and they're working beautifully. Mr. Roo put me a shelf, well, Bear and Mr. Roo put me a shelf up the other week. When I was poorly, Mr. Roo was trying to keep Bear entertained, and he came in and put me a shelf up to surprise me, and it did. It's fab. It's got all sorts on it. It's got my glue, sticky pads, my gel pens, post-it notes. They only did it because I wanted a trolley, and Bear wanted it for the playroom for his Legos. So Bear got his trolley for his Legos, and I got a new shelf. Not sure who got the better deal. Right. How cool does that look? Do you like that? Right. Sorry. Heat gun time again. I do just want to distress around the edge a little bit. I need to make sure that gel pen's dry. There we go. Right, before I distress around the edge, I'm going to do my white bits. Because otherwise I'm just going to be chasing my tail, aren't I? Oops. Knock loads of stuff off my desk and I've got an itchy arm. Oh. Got a feeling I'm going to need my little tidy up brush. Take my lid off. I'm definitely running out of white embossing powder. Though I'm not quite sure if my takeaway tub's going to last much longer, to be honest. It's got cracks and all sorts in it. Right, so I'm just going to pop my anti-static bag up at the top here. I'm going to do one side and then I'll do the other because it's just easier. Because you know what I'm like with embossing. What else? I'll put my stamp the right way up. So you want ink the wrong side of my stamp. Always a good start. I'm just going to get this done with my clear ink. There's that one. And then I'm loving that ghosting we've got, so I'm just going I'm not trying to aim for on top of it because that'd be a waste of time, wouldn't it? So I'm going down and towards me a little bit. So we still get that ghost kind of resist image. There we go. I've got no strength in my hands today. So I'm making it look 10 times harder than what stamping actually is. It's not that hard to get an image out. Give it the shake. Ooh. There we go. And I'm going to do the same. How cool does that look? And we've not even embossed it yet. I'm going to do the same on this end. So start off with my anti-static pad. Be careful I don't knock the ink off the other end. And we're going to get this inked up. I'm running out of space again. I'm just going to get this inked up on here. Excuse me. And then exactly the same. Down a bit and towards me. What a massive ball behind that stamp. Surprised we've been stamping anything with the size of that bubble. Right, and then I'm just going to use my little clean up brush for whatever I don't like the look of, or anything that's in the wrong place. But to be fair, seeing as though we've done lots and lots with our distress ink, distress oxide, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting it to be a right clean up job, but it's not. Where's my lid gone? Because if I don't put my lid on, that would be a big clean up job, wouldn't it? There we go. Pop that back on there. There we go, an anti-static bag with it. I don't put it back, it all goes walkies. And let's get this dry. And all I've done basically is layer it up, haven't I? So we've got our lovely colour with our texture that you can see by using our brushes. We've got our blocks that we did in all different colours. We've got our texture circles that we had. Oh, that's hot. That we ghosted and then we put them in white over the top. Or resisted, whatever you want to call it. People call it all sorts of things, don't they? What gets me about crafting, everyone says there's so many different techniques. No, they're just all called this a different thing. Right, check that out. Oh, it's hot. I've done that twice now, haven't I? Picked it up going, oh, it's hot. Cool. Right. Ooh. I'm not going to be good at decisions, am I? Quite like it that way. What I thought I'd do is... Where's my little piece gone? Oh, I can't reach it now. It's slid. Let me go grab it. There we go. That was more of a stretch than I thought. I don't think I'm going to go around the edges. I think it looks just fine as it is. So I'm going to stick that down on there. empty bottle didn't want to stand up. I'm going to keep working on it on here because once I put the calendar on my desk it gets a bit full, my desk, and you know what I'm not like, I'm not the neatest of crafters. It's easier to work on this little panel and then pop it into or onto our calendar. But I know it's the 20, what is it now, the 25th of the month, and I'm just getting round to doing March's calendar page. Looks cool, doesn't it? Right, and then I'm hoping I've got all my letters. If not, I might cry. Because I haven't got all my letters. I was going to do March in our funky. What have I got? I've not got me. Oh, that's my own fault for not looking before we sat down. Well, that's rude, isn't it? I thought that was my full set then. 1 second whilst I change my plans. So I was going to write March in our fun alphabet, but seeing as though it didn't want to play, we'll do something slightly different. Oh, thanks Maxine. It just needs something on the top, so I'm going to use our lovely balloons, and I'm going to use our it's the additions for our time border one. So I'm going to grab that one. I've obviously not used those two before because they're stuck together. So I'm going to try and cram too much on a stamp sheet. I know, Mr. Roo shouts at me for it. So we're going to use that one. We need March, March. And then I think, I've just had a different idea. One idea at a time, dear. That's what we should say, isn't it? I'm just going to start stamping these, otherwise I'm going to start going off on really different tangents here. And you know what I'm like when I start doing that. Before you know it, we'll have something completely different. This is going to pop off the page because it's white. Even though we've got that white embossing powder, you can have this and the white embossing powder that's just going to go pop. Now, I was going to use my balloons, but I don't think I am. I'm going to use this set. And I know that's being really naughty. But I'm going a bit off-piste, and I didn't mean to. I'm just going to pop March in there. You can tell, can't you, when I've got a bit of a idea going. That's the rest of my alphabet just falling on the floor. Going fine. If you don't want to use us, that's fine. What I want is I'm just sat here going for it now, aren't I? What I want to do is add a few of these little circles in. So we've got like March, or even I might do a cluster in the middle even. Ooh, that could look nice, couldn't it? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab the big one and we're going to have 2024 written in that. We're going to have our Marches. It's going to end up looking like a load of bubbles, because we're going to colour it so it looks like bubbles. And I know I said I wanted them white, but white or a white border, it's the same thing, isn't it? I know, I do change my mind, don't I? So I want 2024 now. Come on. It's a tight fit, this one, isn't it? So 20. I'm going to go really snug into the side with this. 2. Where's my O? There's my O. Two. Oh. Get rid of my O, I don't need that again. Two O. Ooh. I know. You knew it was a bad idea, but didn't you? There's always a way out of it, though. 2 and a 4. See, looks like I meant to do that. It does, doesn't it? All nod, please. Yeah. I can tell if you're not nodding. And I'm just going to pop. Oh, look, that fits. So I'm going to use a little year. And I'm just using my black ink. It would have been better if I'd used all different colours. But I've got year. And then that should be months. Turns my eyes funny, they're that little. I'm just going to pop a month under here. I'm not going to need all 3 of these. I think I'm only going to need 2, aren't I? Months. Yeah. Can't believe I didn't check my Alphabetti spaghetti had all its bits and pieces. Always the way, isn't it? Oh, actually, before we do that, we will put a few balloons on. It'd be rude not to include the balloons because they are part of this month's set and these aren't. So we're going to grab, oops, oh, got itchy shoulder now. I'm sure you didn't need to know that, did you? Just grab our little balloons. I think I might draw the string on. So I'm going to go a bit overboard with these guys. See what we want and what we don't want. See, if I'd thought about it, we could have done March with the smaller alphabet in the balloons. That would have looked good. That'd look cool for someone's birthday, wouldn't it? Might do that next week. Oh no. It's Easter Monday, isn't it, on Monday? There we go, right. Let's give these a try this time. I'm only drying it because I don't want it to run or bleed when I start to whack it with paint in a minute. So, oh, the cogs are turning again. You can hear it, can't you? Decision time. Am I going to stick to the same colour palette, or am I going to jazz it up a little bit? See, I'm tempted to do these in peacock feathers just because it'll look bubblish, if that's even a word. You know what, yeah, I'm going to stick to the same colours. It'll look different anyway, because of it being painted. Yeah, it's a new word, bubblish. So I'm not going to do too much, just a teeny tiny bit. So nice to have water back in my spritzer. I mean, it actually works like a spritzer. Oh. And I really don't want too much. Teeny tiny bit, just to get my colour. There we go. I need to do March or Mar. And this fits in, doesn't it, really well with our circles. And then we're going to take this off. And we're going to go crack pistachio. Do my big balloons in that one. Again, I put way too much ink on my desk. Oops. Post-it notes are about to drop off my table. We've got a bit of cracked pistachio there. And then a little bit of wilted violet to do our circular balloons. There we go. And you can tell I've gone, oh, I had gone really, really light. Quick, water that down a bit. Might even block that for a bit of good luck. There you go. You can tell I've gone really, really light with those colours. Only because I don't want it to interfere with our background too much, because that background is like just packed full of colour, isn't it? And then our foreground, because they haven't got as much colour, they're going to pop. I hope, is the theory. Anyway. Just give them a quick blast and then we can get them cut out. Oh, I didn't colour in the bottom of my balloons. Okay. I'm going to start with my balloons. Or as Rosie used to call them, baboons. Again, teeny tiny little border. It saves you having to be too neat on your cutting out. It lets you get away with the worst cutting out ever. Not that your cutting out is bad. Mine is though. I'm going to start coming down. We'll start arranging this in a minute. Just to get the idea though. There we go. Okay, I'm not quite sure this is quite going how I expected it to, but arranging things has never quite been a forte of mine. You know, like some people are really good at putting things together. Mine just kind of look, yeah, not brilliant. Let's get these going. You know, I might not use them balloons after all. See, I didn't have a picture of this one finished in my head. That's normally what I'm working towards. Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. Who calendar, absolutely. Bear even treated him to a chippy dinner. Took his card so he could pay and everything. It was so sweet. Though he was calling him 50 all day, so. And he's not, he wasn't 50 this time. But Bear got it and he said that he was. You know what? I'm not going to use those balloons. I like it just like that. It looks now a bit like a shipwreck. Yeah. Maybe that's just me. Right, I'm going to move that to one side and then we can get it stored. Okay, I'm not going to move that to one side because it keeps attacking me. But those work really well with that. And I don't know why I didn't think about them before, because they do. They look cool. Calendar. Oops. I'm going to work sideways on this because otherwise it don't fit on my desk properly. And I've got glue back in my glue. Just make a difference, doesn't it? That's going to go about there, I think. Just let it grab it a little bit. There we go. And then I really liked how we had it before. Something like that. Turn it around. I can't work sideways when I'm doing this. Yeah, something like that. Right. Oh, my glue's gone a bit fuzzy. Now I don't really like using too many foam pads on this because otherwise it ends up poofing it all out, doesn't it? Like that. Yeah, these colours are my favourite colours. So it's Peacock Feathers, Cracked Pistachio, and then Wilted Violet, or swap in Picked Raspberry. They are literally my go-to colours all the time. If I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, I know those three, either of those combos, will work really well. So you know your colours are going to work, so then you can go back and have a bit of a play, can't you? Yeah, so when I'm experimenting, I guess, I go to my go-to colours, because then it's one less thing that could go wrong. But there you go. I do like that one. I do think that's really, really cool. I could always stick a balloon there, just for Mr. Roo. There you go. Stick it on his birthday, shall we? I did cut it out for a reason. I might even give it a string as well. Oops. There we go. Let's see if I can find that pen again. There we go. Just like that. So, there we go. We've got an advent set. Not an advent set. I'm not used to saying advent calendar, aren't I? Our calendar page topper, whatever we want to call it, done for March. I know there's only a few days left of March, but it's done. I didn't miss a month. So there you go. Right button, please. Where's my mouse gone to sleep? I think my mouse has gone to sleep. There we go. We are back. So when are we back? We have some new stuff, some new stamps, some new poly plates, I'm going to leave that on my desk. Some new texture stamps, some new sayings, all launching over the Easter weekend. I've still got a few samples to make for them, but we're getting there. I might have got a bit carried away with the stamps as well, so there is quite a few new ones coming this Easter weekend. So what we're going to do is we're going to literally launch them every day over Easter. So we're going to start with our stamps, so our images, on Friday. Saturday is poly plates. Sunday is texture, and then on Monday we have our sayings. But by the time you get to Monday, you've probably seen your sayings. So that will be every day over the weekend. So watch out for the times we'll be doing that. It'll probably be early morning, and probably about 10:30. But I'm just waiting for Mr. Roo to let me know what time bears. Tennis is on Saturday because it's slightly earlier, I think. So yeah, new stamps coming out this weekend. New poly plates, new texture stamps, new sayings. Well, I would show you the pile, but the pile is like that. Huge amounts. I've been busy. And there's some lovely ones in there. A little bit different, a little bit quirky as always. And the poly plates are just going to be so useful for everything, really. So that's this weekend. This Easter weekend, bank holiday weekend, we have new stamps, poly plates, texture stamps, sayings. So I do hope you can join me for that. Keep an eye out, because I will be doing a few sneaky peeks this week. There's only a few days left of this week, isn't there? So do keep an eye out for that. But like I say, we'll be live every day over the weekend with something new. And I have also been told that I'm getting a friend to help me, so he will obviously give you his honest opinion. Mum was saying she loves the ones she's seen. Absolutely, because when I gave them to her, she had, like I say, it's a pile about this big, so I said just go for whichever ones you can use, go for it. Because there is just so many, so many. I got a bit carried away, like I said, but then I couldn't reduce them, because that'd be rude, wouldn't it? Yeah, because I want to play with them all now. Anyway, so no live on Wednesday. We'll be back on Friday, so Good Friday, with some new stamps. I do hope you can join me then. So do take care, stay safe, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Oh, my mouse doesn't want to work. There we go.